Hey guys, welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of the XI Tech Podcast. In today's episode, we are joined by no other than me, myself, and I. So, with no one being here, this episode will probably be a little shorter than usual, I'd say around 20 minutes or so. So, this is a really bite sized episode. If you want to save this for later, then that's totally fine as well. Anyway, the topic for today will be the HomePod Mini. I have one right here on my desk, and in my opinion, it's amazing. It's one of the best Apple products that you can buy, in my opinion, and it's just it looks so good, especially the white version with my LED lights bouncing off of it. Oh yes, it just you really need to see it in person for yourself. The videos do not do it justice, in my opinion, because the color replication is just not as. And if you're wondering why I haven't been uploading as frequently as I have been before, it's because I have a lot of homework. Yes, I am a student and I do my homework. I'm a responsible student. So yeah, I'm sorry. There's not much episodes coming out, but next Monday there will be one because I am recording 2 episodes today so that hopefully I don't get off track again. Anyway, let's actually get started now. First of all, comparing the HomePod Mini to the Google Home Mini, there are many similarities and many differences. First of all, there is a new feature called Intercom, I think. Yes, called Intercom for the HomePod Mini. And for Google Home Minis, or all Google Homes, they have this feature called Broadcast, which basically does the same thing. You just say sup device, Intercom, or Broadcast, and then you say your message. It will transfer your voice to every single other HomePod or Google Home Minis to basically amplify your voice. It's like a walkie-talkie, but I really don't know how to describe this. But it's imagine I said, "Sup device, come down to eat dinner," right? And then every single other one of that device will play the same audio clip that I said. I think that's the best way to describe it. But that's just one feature. There's so many other similarities. Comparing it to the Google Home Mini, it's considerably louder and it sounds so much better. Before on my desk, I had two Google Home Minis, one on the left and one on the right. And yeah, the stereo is pretty cool. And it didn't sound that bad, but comparing it to the HomePod Mini, it just gets blown out of the water. The HomePod Mini, I only have one since I am not that rich. I can't just buy two and put them on either side of my desk. But the HomePod Mini, just one of them, sounds so good. Listening to music, in my opinion, it's my best sounding speaker in my house. I know it probably means I don't have that many good sounding speakers in my house, but it really does sound that great. Another thing is that it really connects to the Wi-Fi better. My HomePod Mini has never disconnected since I got it, which has been a week ago. Like sometimes I just say "sup Google," and then it just responds with, "Sorry, you're not connected to the internet right now. Please try again in a few more minutes." So yeah, it's very annoying. The HomePod Mini, it's so much more reliable. And also, yes, the major difference is that HomePod uses Siri and Google Home uses the Google Assistant. Which one do I like more? Actually, I like Siri more for a number of reasons. I know you guys will probably disagree with me, and that's totally fine. It's all personal preference. So basically, I don't need my smart home device to know every single fact on the internet. That's not what I use it for. If that's what you use it for, then yeah, this is not the device for you. For me, a smart speaker basically means if I want a simple question answered, like a simple calculus question, I just ask it, it answers, pretty easy. Pretty standard stuff, right? And also when I want to play music, I can conveniently play music. Like say, sup device, play me, and then a song. It both does it pretty well, although the HomePod is at an advantage here. So the HomePod, if you use an iPhone with Apple Music, it basically syncs up to your library and it's so much more integrated than the Google Home Minis. However, the HomePods can only support Apple Music as of now, and I doubt it's going to be changing anytime soon. So if you use anything but Apple Music, you can't use that. You can still connect Bluetooth. You can still connect it with Bluetooth from your phone to the HomePod, but that's about it, really. You can't say sup, then the word play me this song. It's just going to say, you're not a Apple Music subscriber. You can't do that. We won't let you. So yeah, that's kind of a downside of that. But for what I do, just basic playing music, basic questions, HomePod Mini is perfect. Now, next, I know you don't usually feel your smart home devices that often, but it just feels very premium, the HomePod, that is. And when I say HomePod, I mean the HomePod Mini, since I don't actually have the HomePod. I'm sure the HomePod actually sounds a lot more premium and feels a lot more premium than the Mini, but still, I only have the Mini, and the Mini, it's like the size of it is a big baseball, and it looks like a baseball too. So yeah, it's flat on both sides, but other than that, it's basically a baseball. The cable is braided, so the cable is very premium. The sound is premium. The mesh is premium, and the screen on top, it's not glass. It's like this plastic thing, but it looks like glass from pretty close even. So overall, it just looks very nice. And if you picked up the white version, which is the version I would recommend, light actually bounces off of it really well. So if you have RGB or other LED lights on your desk, it's gonna just illuminate the device really well. And in my opinion, it looks amazing. I will be making a video on this on my YouTube channel as well. If you want more of me, you can just watch my videos there. Anyway, the HomePod Mini is very premium. Next, it's very small yet powerful. Powerful as in the sound and its capabilities, as well as the chips, of course. That's basically what powerful means. So it's very small. It's a small device. That's called the HomePod Mini for a reason. Again, it's just a bit bigger than a baseball. Maybe more than a bit. It is quite a handful. But like, think of a really big apple. The HomePod Mini is very small, but again, it's very powerful. The sound it makes is phenomenal for its size. And even for sizes that are much larger, it sounds amazing. Again, this is the most great sounding speaker in my whole house. So the HomePod Mini, really, it's a very acoustic device. The bass is boomy, but it's not overly rattly that like it shakes. The treble is very nice. It's very balanced overall, and the midtones just brings out the life in your voice. So if you like listening to podcasts or listen to music through this, it's amazing. And yes, I do actually have songs on Apple Music and Spotify if you want to check them out. If you just search Spanish Jesus or Christian Cat Spanish Jesus. Shameless plugs aside, again, because it has a... What chip is it again? I think it's the S6 or S5 chip inside it. Yeah, the S6 chip inside it. It's actually very, very quick. So basically, whenever I ask it a question, it nearly instantaneously answers it for me. So unlike the Google Home Minis, they have a delay of 2 to 3 seconds. This, as soon as I'm done, it automatically just bam, bam, bam. I'm going to tell you the answers. I'm going to tell you everything you need. And also because that it is Apple integrated, when you ask it a question that requires a lot more detail, it's actually just going to bring it up on your phone. So it shows all of the text on your phone, and that just makes it a lot easier, basically. Also, since it is Siri, when I just say the simple without having to say sup Google, it's just a lot more simple. And even when I'm outside without a Google Home Mini, I can still, not without a HomePod Mini, sorry, I can still say sup Siri, and then my voice will still activate some of my other devices. The HomePod Mini also plays podcasts very well, so if you love listening to podcasts like me, you can just say, sup Siri, play me the XIA Tech podcast, or sorry, the Tech Pit podcast. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but It just sounds so good. And this is actually one of my points. I know I've talked so much in today's episode, but oh my gosh, you cannot believe it. You know what? I'm actually going to play a sample of the sound right now so you guys can actually hear how it sounds like. Be sure to wear headphones, or maybe not, and just take my word for it.
Here's to the ones who let shine through the rain, the ones who stood for something more. We won't forget your names.
Alright, that really did sound good. So that song is called Close to the Sun by The Fat Rat. If you want to listen to it, of course, it will be linked in the description down below. Even if this is just a video form on YouTube, then yeah, it will still be there. Next, let's talk about affordability. This is, okay, $100 USD or 130 Canadian dollars is not affordable at all. But $100 for an Apple product? Now we're talking. So, most Apple products are ranging from a few $100s to a few $1,000s. And that's not considering talking about the Mac Pro and the iMac Pros, which can easily get you up to $10,000 or even higher. So, this for $100 is actually a really good thing for Apple. A lot of people just want to gift a gift to people. And of course, if you gift an Apple product, it's going to be the world to them. So buying them something from Apple with the Apple logo on it is really, really important. I'm not saying this is not worth $100. It's worth, I'd say, at least $200. But for $100, it's actually really good. And because that it's very cheap, it's very cheap for an Apple product. It's very enticing for people to give, especially now with Christmas right around the corner. People can just pick one up and gift that as a Christmas present. So this is a very, very nice gift. And you know, if you're thinking of buying someone a Christmas gift, this is a fantastic thing to get them. However, this is mostly out of stock in a lot of areas. I will talk a bit more about stock in just a bit. So if you could stay here for a few more minutes, then we can discuss that. But next, we'll have to talk about some drawbacks. The HomePod Mini. This is because it's not perfect. Humans aren't perfect, and everything humans make are not perfect. I'm not saying that you guys are just bad. I'm saying that we are just superior than you. Anyway, the HomePod Mini is... There are certain aspects of it that is debatably bad. For example, the cable. Like, yes, I love how it's braided, but couldn't you have made it just like attachable? Like, why does it have to be attached to the HomePod? It's very inconvenient at best. I put it on my desk, and I have a really nice wiring tray or cable tray that, like, you basically don't see a single cable in sight on my desk from where you sit. But this cable, it has to run from all the way from the wall outlet on the other side of the room to my desk, and it really stretches the cable. So I can't really put it in the most optimal position, and when I want to move it, I can't, since it's already pulled as far as possible. So if this cable is even detachable, that would be amazing. Like, when I want to take some photos, I can detach the cable, even for the thumbnail. So it's just very inconvenient. Now, next, it's something that's connected to the cable. It's the charging brick or the power brick. So, come on, Apple. I mean, yes, I have to give you credit. You at least included a charging brick, a power brick with the device, unlike your iPhones. But there's a big but. That was not intentional. But the brick that it comes with is a 20-watt brick, and yay, it's 20 watts. That's a whole 2 watts higher than my iPad Pro charger. But you cannot use it with anything else. That's the only brick you can use it with. Anything else, and it'll just blink orange lights. So, yeah, I mean, as a cool LED product, I guess. But as a HomePod, you cannot use anything else. So I tried using my 18-watt power brick that looks identical, by the way, to the 20-watt. Doesn't work. I tried using third-party bricks. Doesn't work. I tried connecting it to my iMac. Doesn't work. So it has to be the 20-watt charging brick that it comes with. And yeah, it does come with it. But if you want to charge your phone or charge other devices with that 20-watt brick, since it is fast charging, you can't. You simply cannot. So yeah, this is kind of just, I don't understand why it uses 20 watts. Like, it clearly does not need that much. It has the S6 chip, which is the same processor the Apple Watch Series 6 uses. Now, that is a fast chip, but it does not use that much power. So 20 watts is definitely overkill. You can't even charge Apple Watches with over 5 watts. It gives you a 5-watt charging brick, but it's actually using about 2 watts to charge the watch. So, like, 20 watts, really? That's a bit excessive. Now, other than that, I don't have that many more complaints, aside from maybe the dust gathering on the mesh. That is a bit annoying, but you can just wipe it off. And that's about it, really. Overall, I don't think this device has that many drawbacks. So, yeah, go for it if you want to. Next up, we're talking about who this is for, and this is even reinforcing my last point. Who is this HomePod for? Well, anyone. It can be a great gift to yourself or others. It can just be a really nice accessory on your desk if you're really invested in the Apple ecosystem. And also, we'll be talking about who it's not for. So stay tuned. Who is it for? Well, it's definitely for me, since I'm loving it. Is it for you? Well, ask yourself a few questions. First of all, do you have an iPhone? If you don't, well, you cannot use this device. It's simply unusable if you don't have an iPhone. I know, it's kind of annoying, but you'll get used to it. Apple is like this. You can't even use an Apple Watch without an iPhone. So, yeah, if you don't have an iPhone, forget it. Or pick up an iPhone. Next, are you an Apple Music subscriber? If you're not, then you cannot ask it to play music. You can't say, "Sup Siri, play me the Fat Rat." It just doesn't work. You can't say, "Sup Siri, play me." Okay, what's a popular song right now, or even an old song? Oh, play me "Boom Clap" by Carly XCX. Like, it doesn't work if you have Spotify or just other. My opinion is the best music service. Next, I know this is more like a survey than anything, but just a few more questions left. Do you really care about sound quality? If you don't have that sensitive of ears, Google Home Minis will work perfectly fine. And if you prefer something that is very smart and knows everything, this is not it. This is definitely not it. You would definitely be considering the Amazon Echoes or the Google Homes. So yeah, they're also a lot cheaper. If price is a major factor, then yeah, this is not the one. But to anyone who's heavily invested in the Apple ecosystem and really cares about sound quality, then yeah, this is the perfect device for you. Moving on to the next segment, this is where we will be talking about my experience buying the product and also how Apple doesn't have that many of this device in stock. Which should I talk about first? Going to the Apple Store or the stocks of it? Let's talk about the Apple Store. So my iMac actually broke down. Basically, the entire iMac stopped working. I brought it into the Apple Store for repairs, and they fixed it for free, of course, since Apple has the best service. But I updated to macOS Big Sur, stopped working. Everything stopped working. It's not my fault at all. It did take a really long time, but yeah, I'm kind of satisfied with Apple, but that's not the topic. The topic is that when I went there and they were fixing my device, I just asked the person helping me, "Hey, wait, are those HomePod minis sitting on that shelf?" And then, because obviously they've been sold out for a really long time, and online it showed that they were sold out. So I still bothered asking, since I would like to take my chances. They said it's probably just an empty box for display only. And then they said, "You know what? I'll check it for you." They went there. They picked it up, and then I just see shock in their face. They're like, "What?" So yeah, it was actually a unsold HomePod Mini. They checked it for me, seeing if it's reserved, and it's not. Somehow, miraculously, my hypothesis is that someone reserved it and just didn't want to get ration. But anyway, long story short, I got the HomePod Mini. So moving on to the limited stocks of this, since it is mostly sold out everywhere, it takes a really long time to get here, And if you're considering this as a gift, maybe it won't arrive until after Christmas has passed. So you really want to just go to the app. This is a major limitation if you want to get this as a gift. Maybe it's not going to be possible. So another thing that I would recommend if you cannot get this would be AirPods. Definitely AirPods. Because, it's still an audio device. They're probably expecting it at this point. And yeah, there's going to be a refresh sometime soon. We cannot predict this. So do not think, okay, there's new ones coming out soon. I'm going to wait off since it's been a really long time. And Apple is not consistent with AirPods. But anyway, just wait if you can. But if it's really not going to arrive until after Christmas or after a time that you want it, then maybe get AirPods. They're still a very fantastic device. In my opinion, they're still one of the best devices that Apple sells, so it's not a bad choice either. Finally, do I recommend this? Talking a lot about this maybe has changed my mind. Maybe I have thought that there's another product. No, I'm kidding. No, I definitely 100% really, certainly, decisively, and unquestionably recommend this. So yes, it's amazing. Get it. I would recommend it 100%. Just do it, bruh. Get it. Okay. I hope I have convinced you. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section down below if you're listening on YouTube. And if you're listening in the podcast app, be sure to leave it a 5-star rating and even a review if you really liked it. All right, thank you so much for listening. I hope I have informed you, and that's it. XI Tech Guy out. That was a bad outro. If you guys enjoyed it, please do the things. And also, don't wait to go. That was a good intro. Wait to go. That was a good outro.